All right, all right. I am so pumped to be here on a Wednesday night with my friends, my followers, and I am on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. This is crazy, but I'm learning. And I wanted to hop on tonight and have a conversation. I want to open it up for people to ask questions. I want to give people insight because here's what's going on. Hey, Diane, how's it going? Diane on Facebook. I'm going to be able to see comments. I'm going to be able to answer questions. But I want to talk to you a little bit about something that people feel really gross about, and it's called prospecting. Okay. People hate that word. They don't like to reach out to people. They don't like to talk to people. They don't like to put themselves out there in case there is rejection. Hey, Kelly, how's it going? And so one of the things that's happening right now is there is a massive shift going on in the world, right? There are 60 million people that are looking for ways to make some extra money. There's 60 million people. And we're doing a total disservice by not having more conversations. And why are we not having them? Why are we not showing people what we know and love, how we've been able to make money, what we've been able to do? Why aren't we talking to people, right? Well, tonight we're going to have a really good conversation about that, okay? Tonight we are going to talk about how to have conversations, because the reason that there is so much stigma around prospecting when it comes to online business is because people are doing it wrong, and it's gross. It's absolutely gross. How many of you guys have gotten a message in your inbox, and in your inbox it says, "Hey girl, how's your day going? Hey, I don't know if you'd be into it or not, but would you be willing to look at my online business? I think you'd be great." How many of you guys are getting messages like that in your inbox? How many of you guys are getting multiple messages like that? Or like, "Hey man, you gotta look at my stuff," or "Hey, do you want to make money online?" Hey, all that kind of stuff, right? We're forgetting something fundamental. We're forgetting that we are human beings. We are forgetting to act like human beings. We're forgetting how we talk to our hairstylist. We're forgetting how we talk to the girl that is ringing our groceries through at the grocery store while we're checking out. We're forgetting how we talk to the people when we go to clothing stores or when we go to restaurants and we talk to the servers and we make conversation. One of the biggest things that I realized that I wasn't explaining to people, which this is why I'm having this conversation right now, is I realized that as a hairstylist, I was just used to creating conversation. I was used to being able to talk to anybody at any time about anything, about different areas of their lives. I was versatile. I learned how to have a conversation. And right now, people are relying on scripts or what they were told to say, and it doesn't work. It sounds gross. It sounds spammy. Why? Because I can give you my conversation. I can say word for word what I said, and it won't sound like you. It'll sound like somebody else. Because you may not say, "Hey, dude," and I will, right? Wouldn't that be weird if you started using someone else's language? It wouldn't be like you, right? "Hey, Lexi. Hey, Chris. How's it going? Alyssa. Nice to see you, hon. Hey, Jess." So here's the deal. We need to learn how to have conversations again, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. Because I want more people to have better conversations because they're not helping anyone when they're kicking through a script, right? Those conversations are absolutely ruining it for you because you're just following a script with a follow-up word, with another follow-up question, with another follow-up question, and you're not learning how to talk to people. You're not learning how to listen. So here's the deal. Hey, Erica, nice to see you. So good. All my buddies. Okay, let me see what's going on TikTok here for a second. This guy quit network marketing 2 months ago. You know what the biggest thing is? The biggest problem is that the only people who lose in network marketing are the people that quit. I'm sorry. I'm not being hard on you, Boyd Crockett. I'm not being hard on you. But most people don't stick around long enough to learn the skills that they need to progress. That's what it comes down to. So if you want to be successful in online marketing, network marketing, you want to stay up with the trends, you want to move forward, you got to be always learning. You got to be always growing, always up-leveling your skills so you can be better. All right? I think I got those guys. Twitter, no, not Twitter, TikTok. See, so many things you got to keep up on. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. But I had a really great conversation today with Larry and Taylor Thompson. And for those of you that don't know them, they had a little sneak peek into my mastermind. They got to work with my mastermind today. And we were chatting a lot about this because it's really, really, really important. So for those of you that don't know, I have a 6-figure profit plan mastermind, and I help people scale their businesses to over 6 figures. That's what I do. Once you have the foundation and the skills and the DMO, which is your daily method of operation, or your IPAs nailed down, your income producing activities, all of a sudden it's a different game. Once you understand that this is a business and all you got to do is these small little habits every single day and be patient, then life gets so easy for you. But I want to talk to you about, I know it really doesn't matter what day it is, Erica, does it? Totally not. So I want to talk to you guys today about prospecting, and I want to talk to you about how to talk to people, and I want to answer your questions. And I want to, if you guys are having issues with any of this, if you're coming up against roadblocks, you're having bad feedback, you're not sure what to say when people say they don't have time, they don't have money, they want to try the products first, they want to blah, 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 all of the excuses, all of the things, all of the objections, like, let's talk about it. Not everyone is your target demographic. Let's start there. Okay. Not everyone. I remember when I first got into online business, people were like, anybody will buy your stuff. Everyone is a prospect. Everybody is a customer. And I'm like, no, actually. I'm in health and wellness. I really care about my health. There's a lot of people out there that do not care. And I am not going to waste my time convincing them that they should spend money on their health, right? How many of you guys have had price objections and people are like, that's so expensive? And I'm like, well, okay. But so is buying organic food. Do you buy organic food? No? Okay. What's your meals look like? Kraft dinner, McDonald's. All right. Okay. But you want a full ingredients list of what I sell? Okay. Yeah, no problem. Right? Like, it's so crazy. So not everybody is your customer. Not everybody is going to want to join your team and make money. Not everybody is going to be open at all. So we have to learn how to have conversations. Right? It is. Yeah. Gina, thank you so much for saying that. She said, yes, I love the group because she's learned so much, and just in her business, but in herself too. Like, she's learned a lot of life skills that are going to help. Right? Okay. So I want to talk to you about something that I've been kind of putting together. I'm putting together like a little freebie for people because I really want to help them with this. And it's going to be a video series, but I'm going to give you the premises of leveling up your conversations. Okay. Skipping the script, leveling up your conversations. And we're going to use the word level. It's that simple. Okay. So L of level. Level up. Just wait, hold on. What's your pronouns? That doesn't even make sense. I don't understand. Okay. So, sorry, distraction. It's like squirrel. See you later. Okay. So level up your prospects and your formula in how you will talk to people. So number 1, L, learn about your prospects. Wow, start a conversation like you would with your hairstylist. Hey, how are you doing today? How's your week? What's going on? Saw you had soccer with your kid on the weekend. How was that? Was it awesome? Are you still playing soccer there? Okay, that's cool. Hope we can play here soon, right? Like, have a conversation with people. Hey, how are you faring? Like, what's going on this year? What's new with you? Maybe do a little bit of research. Maybe take an extra 2 minutes and go to their Facebook page and learn about them. Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? Do they travel? Do they not travel? Do they live somewhere far away and you have questions about it? Start a conversation. Say, hey, I've never been to Bali. I'd love to hear about your life there. What's your favorite part? How long have you been living there for? Tell me what you do. What made you decide to move there? Right? Get to know people. Get to know what they want. Then the E of level is evaluate their needs, right? So I'm going to lead them down the conversation and figure out what it is that they need. Are you a mom that's at home on mat leave and you don't want to go back to work? I know how I can help you. Are you a mom that's at home on mat leave and you might need to, look at your nutrition and you might want to lose that baby weight because you want to feel like yourself again? I can also help you, right? Are you somebody that wants to travel the world, but you're stuck in a job that you only have 2 weeks vacation? I can help you, right? Are you somebody that is struggling to pay the bills and you and your partner are barely seeing each other because you're working separate shifts, right? Is that what's happening? I want to be able to help improve your life. I want to show you that you can make space and make extra money and go on date nights and have weekend vacations. I want to show you that you can afford to have a daughter in dance, in multiple dance lessons and singing and sports, and also a son in multiple sports and dance and whatever, gymnastics. They can play all of those things or do all of those things because you don't have to worry about how much money it's going to cost. Right? There's a difference in how I speak to people. Hey, Sophie, how's it going? Nice to see you. You know, this is a lot of the stuff too that I talk about in my free group, by the way. If you're not part of my free group on Facebook, it's called Life Transformed, because we used to live in a house downtown in the city. I absolutely loved it. I will get back into this, by the way, just a little side note. We absolutely loved it, but the cost of doing business kept going up and up and up. We weren't spending much time together. We have a daughter. Didn't want to do that life anymore. So we changed the game. Okay. I will talk to you about that later, but let's keep going on this leveling up prospect. Okay. So like, how are we going to level up? How are we going to talk to people? How are we going to level up our conversations? Okay. So learn about your prospects, ask questions, evaluate their needs. What do they need in their life? What is missing that you can provide a solution to? Hey, maybe, like, obviously I talk to a lot of moms, but like maybe they're a stay-at-home mom and hey, Michaela, and they really want a sense of community. They really want a sense of support. Maybe they want to feel like themselves again, and the only little humans they get to see are their kids. Maybe they want conversation. Maybe they want to contribute financially to their household and feel like they're part of something, right? That's all really important stuff. I mean, all of that stuff resonates with me because it's what I wanted. Okay, so evaluate their needs. V, voice your solutions to their problem, right? What solution do you have to their problem? If they're a stay-at-home mom and they're looking for a way to make money, what solution do you have to their problem if they want community? What solution do you have if somebody wants to make more money and buy a new house or buy a car or buy a vacation property or an investment property, right? What kind of advice do you have for them? Helen is asking on TikTok, do you find that harder in TikTok Messenger, or do you do that in Facebook Messenger? TikTok is really difficult because, excuse me, because you can only message people that you're following and that are following you. So I do a lot of my messaging through Facebook and usually Instagram. It's much, much easier. So if you are working on TikTok, make sure that you have a call to action and either a bio, like a link in your bio, or you're pointing them to Instagram or to Facebook to connect with you somewhere else. Okay. So V, voice your solution to their problem. E, here you go, edify the company and the products. So what I mean by that is edify the company and the products that you work for, right? By giving testimonials, telling other people's stories, showing before and after pictures, ATMing them. Those of you that don't know what ATM is, it means add, tag, message. You add them to a value-added group. If you have any questions, you can private message me and I'm happy to share with you. You tag them in a few posts that are of interest to them or answering questions that they have, and then you message them the next day. It allows them to do independent research. And it also has social proof when you've got groups of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that are showing their testimonies. It's a no-brainer, right? It's easy. It's social proof and shows that it works. Okay. And then after edify the company and products, L, the last L in level, is listen to their objections and decide if they are a good fit as a customer or team member, right? Oh, I love this. Hey, homie. I always want a rose. Just kidding. So I want you to, for those of you that are just joining in on TikTok, I'm also live on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm answering questions tonight. So I'm here to support you, to help you ditch the scripts and learn how to have real conversations. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you very much. So I'm really excited to be here because I think that this is really important to have more conversations and ask more questions. Okay. So what does this look like? Like, what does this look like? What do I say to somebody when they ask, what I do, when they reach out and ask what I do? Well, they've already opened the door for me to have this conversation. And I usually tell them a 3-minute story. I usually tell them my story in 3 minutes because it's not about pitching a business. It's not about pitching a product. It's about telling them your story or stories of other people that they can relate to so that they connect with you and maybe have a glimmer of hope that they could do it too. So I'm going to tell you really quickly my 3-minute story when somebody asks me what I do. Instead of going off on my company or how I make money, which is not the important part of the business, the important part is connecting and building relationships with people and really, really caring about them and learning about them. Okay. So I would say, hey, you know what? I used to be a hairstylist. I own my own salon and on-site wedding business, but the cost of doing business kept going up and up, and I was making less money. I was really frustrated because I was trading dollars for hours. I was working so much and I was burnt out, and I could never hit the 6-figure mark. I would have to work 80 hours a week or 100 hours a week, and I didn't want to do that. The other thing that happened is late into my pregnancy, I had a really bad shoulder injury and I had to quit working altogether. I had to stop doing hair, and it terrified me. Now I had no way to make money. And I had a little baby on the way. And this is a career I'd had for 11 years. So I started to panic. And I'd seen people advertising online. I'd seen the marketing. And I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. There's no way people are actually making money doing that. And I brushed it off. But the reason that I brushed it off is because I didn't have any online skills. I didn't have any education or any experience. And I was actually really not convinced that I could do it. But when my daughter was born, I realized that I did not want to work evenings and weekends. I worked every single night. Well, not every single night. I worked every single weekend, April till October, doing 3 to 5 weddings a weekend. So I was never home. I worked 4 nights a week until 9 p.m. Never would have been able to sing her to sleep at night or read her stories. And that wasn't the kind of mom that I wanted to be. And that's the truth, right? I wanted to connect with people. I wanted to help them live the life that we got to live. Because when I found network marketing, and now I do something called social marketing, when I found that, it changed the game for us. Yes, I was skeptical. Yes, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was willing to learn. And what that did for my family is it allowed us to pay off all of our debt. It allowed us to sell our house in the city and buy our dream acreage in the country. It allowed us to clear some land here. And my husband planted 500 apple trees. We have room for 500 more. We're going to have an estate cidery here, which is a bit of a long-term legacy project. Okay. But it's something that we love. It's a lifestyle that we love. And we decided that we were going to make money around our lifestyle. And that's what you should do too. Right? Instead of working your butt off for your vacations, why don't you figure out how to make money around the way that you like to live? Maybe you want to travel all over the world and work from your phone and have that laptop lifestyle. Maybe you want to work from home and raise your kids and be a conscious parent and be the person that pours values and morals and decision-making skills into them. Maybe that needs to be you. Maybe not, right? But my husband and I have been able to live like we're retired in our 30s. For the last 4 years, he's been able to be a stay-at-home dad. He got to leave his job, and we've created multiple streams of income that's allowed us this life. And now we teach other people how to do this because you don't need to be on a hamster wheel. You don't need to live in a rat race anymore. There are things that are way more important, and you need to be on the other side, right? So that's the kind of conversation that I have with people if they ask me what I do, right? But usually that conversation happens after I take interest in them. After I figure out what it is that I like about them, I tell them that. I give them a compliment, because who doesn't like a good compliment? It's one of the basic things that I teach my daughter. I said, you want to be charming? Give people compliments. When you see somebody's hair that you like, tell them. When you see their shirt or their shoes that you like, tell them. It makes them feel good. How do I make money? I do something called social retail, and I share valuable information with people that will help them make safe and healthy choices for their family. I work for a clean living company. So I do social marketing for a clean living company. I make multiple 6 figures doing that. And then I also do a coaching program and a mastermind that's called the 6-Figure Profit Plan. And I help other network marketers and people that are in multi-level marketing and online sales and and direct sales. I help them scale their businesses and learn the skill set, learn the mindset work, the leadership, the duplication, the systems. I help them put that all together so that they can scale their business to over 6 figures too. I'm also a speaker and an author. Sorry, I'm answering questions. Those of you that are watching on Facebook and YouTube, I'm answering questions on TikTok now, which is kind of cool, actually. What kind of network marketing do you do? How can you join? Well, shoot me a message, right? Or you can email me, info@christinawhiteley.com, or shoot me a message either here if you can on TikTok, or you can send me a message on Facebook, would be my preferred method of contact. And I can give you information and I can chat with you about it and make sure that this is the right fit for you, right? Like, I'm not here to just sign up anybody. Like, I hate when people say, oh, I got to get someone on my team. I got to get a customer. It's not about getting anybody. It's about providing value and showing up as a human that leads with your heart. It's about helping people, right? You see if there's any questions here on Facebook. Let me take a quick peek. How are you guys doing? Okay. So I want you to think of prospecting like as an opportunity to have a conversation with someone and interview that person and talk to them. And I want you to find people that you know that you can change their life. You know that you can change things. You know that you can help them. And hey, you may be new to network marketing. You may be absolutely new to network marketing. I've only been in it in 5 years, but I've been able to build 2 different businesses to over $100,000 within a year. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. And I think that most people think that everybody is their customer or a business partner, and they're not. You need to have conversations with people and really truly care. Right? You're more than welcome to ask questions. I'm more than happy to help. So this is what we're going to get into, okay? So when I have a conversation with people, it's like I'm having a conversation with my best friend or my cousin who I haven't talked to in 2 weeks. How would you start a conversation? People are so used to seeing scripts that they don't even know how to say, hi, how are you? Right? Like, did we forget how to ask how somebody's weekend was? Or like what their kids' names are? Or what they like to do for fun? Do we forget how to have a conversation with people? Because whenever, as a hairstylist, whenever somebody sat down in my chair and I start to talk to them, are you married? Do you have kids? Right? Do you like to travel? Do you have any hobbies? And we have a conversation. And that conversation doesn't have to take decades. That conversation doesn't have to take years and years and years. That conversation can actually be something that starts building a foundation of a relationship that they may eventually become a customer if you have something that they need. Or they may need to make some money, or they may want to work with you if it's the right fit, the company's the right fit, or you're the right fit for the partnership, right? Let's see if there's any other comments down here. Be a human. It's that simple, Kelly, right? It's that simple. Okay, so simple questions like this. What do you do for work? What is life at home like? If you could make extra money from your phone, how much would you like to make? That's kind of a sidebar. That's if you've had a conversation about online business, right? And, sometimes people talk about their struggles. And when you actually have a conversation with them, you'll realize it's way more like, oh, I just need to make some extra money. We can't quite pay our bills. We can't pay our bills. But what's happening in that is that they don't have enough food on the table. Or they're having fights with their partner because they don't have enough money and they're stressed. There's this underlying anxiety that is happening in society right now that is really normal. Like how everybody feels right now, it's really, really normal because everyone is really unsettled. We don't know what's coming next. We don't know what to expect. We don't know who to trust. It's tough. But what we can do is connect with other humans, right? Now, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but the only way that you can do that, the only way that you can find out what's happening behind the scenes is if you ask, right? And so what I'm trying to find out is people's pain points. Do they not have enough time with their kids and they work too much? They don't have enough money to pay the bills. They don't have enough money for family extras. They need a new vehicle. They need to upgrade their house, or they want to get ahead. They want to go back to school. They don't love their current job and they're looking for a change. Maybe their current job is obsolete. Maybe they're working from home. Maybe their hours have been cut. Maybe they need a flexible schedule to take care of their kids and homeschool or take care of a sick family member. Maybe they're coming up to retirement age and they have no savings because 92% of people are broke at 65. Right? Kind of crazy. Now, I'd love if you guys are struggling with anything in these conversations, like if you guys are struggling with objections, like shout them out, put them in the comments. I'm happy to help you. If somebody says, hey, I don't have enough time, do you know what to say? Because if someone told me they didn't have enough time, I'd say, tell me about your life. Why don't you have time? Why don't you have time to make more money? Because you're so busy running to 3 different jobs and you're so busy that you don't have time to spend with your kids on the weekends because you're working? Let me talk to you about this, because you could be building some residual income in the pockets of your day to and from work. You could be listening to trainings if you're traveling. If not, 15-minute coffee breaks, you could be doing something to make a little extra money so you drop one of those 3 jobs and be with your kids, right? Different conversation. Or, I don't know, growing up, we never went on a big family holiday. We didn't go to Mexico together as a family until I was in grade 10. I think I was 15 or 14. That was the first big family holiday we had to bond, to get together. How many parents want to give that a trip to Disneyland, a trip to Mexico when everything opens up, right? How many parents want to be able to give that experience and to make those memories with their kids? Right? Jessica says right here, or that I'm not ready yet, but I will be, just can't afford it, right? Okay, so when somebody says that to me, when somebody says they can't afford it, I'm like, okay, maybe not right now. And I get it's all about life timing, but do you have a plan? Do you have a plan? Can I help you? Do you have a plan to get out of that mess? Because I'll tell you what some of the people that I work with have done so that they could start making more money right away. And so they'd never be in the position where they didn't have money for diapers or formula. Okay. So, and it may be gas, it may be an extra thing, it may be clothes, whatever it is. Soccer, like hockey's really expensive if you got a boy or maybe a girl, right? Really, really expensive. So I would say, do you have a plan? And then, no, not really. Okay. Do you want one? Do you want to know what some of the people on my team have done? Some of the people have asked for this business for a birthday, for Christmas. They've sold some, I'm looking at my couch. They've sold some furniture around the house that they don't use anymore. They've gone through storage and gotten rid of clothes or baby clothes or toys or things that they don't need anymore. They've borrowed the money from family, right? I didn't have the money when I first started. I put it on my credit card because I knew that there had to be a better way, and I knew that there had to be another way for me, right? So you're not in someone else's financial situation. You're absolutely right, Jessica. But if they don't have a plan, then how are they supposed to move forward, right? That was something that I, like, it's so interesting. You get bits and pieces from all of these different leaders, and you get to know people as you network. And Lisa Grossman taught me that. And she taught me, ask them if they have a plan, and then ask them if they want to see one if they don't have a plan. Because the biggest response is no most of the time, right? People just want to say no just because it's easy. If you're in the kitchen, you could cook. Obviously, that person does not know me. Sorry, I'm like leaning over this so that I can see that. I don't have this set up very well, but that's okay. I'm learning. We're learning, people. We are learning, okay? So this person said I could cook if I'm in the kitchen, and they obviously don't know that my husband cooks everything because I do not. It would be very, very frustrating for our family to have to wait for me to cook. I'm just saying. Or we'd be getting takeout, which is exactly what we're doing these days because we're supporting our local economy and all the restaurants that are closed. So we're getting takeout a few nights a week to support our favorite restaurants, which you should do if you're locked down and you can't go to restaurants. Okay, I need a drink. I'm thirsty. Okay. What if somebody says, yeah, I don't have the money. I don't have the money right now. Okay. What are you doing right now to get ahead? How can I help? If you don't have the money, how can I help? Right? Is there any way that you can make more money at your job? Is there any way that you could sell something? Is there any way that you could get started so that you could start making money so you never have to say to somebody that you don't have the money? Right? That doesn't feel good. That never feels good. So I want you to know how important it is to figure out people's why they would be interested in a product or why they would be interested in working with you. And so this is another conversation that I talk about a lot because pushing products on people just doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. When you have to convince somebody to use something that's good for them, it doesn't work at all. So if somebody says to me, oh, it's expensive, I don't know if it's really going to work, I'm not really sure, right? Well, you wouldn't be working for your company if you didn't believe wholeheartedly in the products, and they wouldn't have a company if the products didn't work, right? People would be dropping like flies. I've seen it happen because I've seen people change, or I've seen companies change the ingredients on products, or the products change and people drop like flies. They get the heck out of there because the product doesn't work. And then all of a sudden they can't do their job with integrity anymore. So if you are wholeheartedly all in, and which you should be, if you're selling something, you better be behind it 100%. You better think it's the best thing since sliced bread. And if you don't, do not sell it to other people, right? Okay. So if you are talking to somebody in that situation and they're skeptical of what you're selling, often I'll say, hey, look, I know my products work. We have a money back guarantee. I also have hundreds of thousands of testimonies and know that we've done over $1 billion in sales. So if our products didn't work, that wouldn't be the case. What I need to ask you is, are you ready to make the change? Are you ready to be consistent and use these products? Are you ready and willing to drink a little bit more water in your day and to get a little bit more exercise, or be cognizant of the steps that you're taking? Are you willing to cut out processed foods 4 nights a week and instead have protein and veggies and some healthy carbs? Are you willing to do those things? Because if you're not, and you're just going to try it for a month and then tell everybody it didn't work because you weren't consistent, because you weren't ready to do the work yourself and weren't ready to use this and get the results, I don't want your sale. I don't. Because all I'm doing is enabling somebody to say it doesn't work when I know it does. Okay. The next thing is, if people are skeptical of a business, I'm not going to convince them. I know what I do. I know what kind of money I make. I don't need to show you my paycheck to prove it. But my results speak for itself. What we've created speaks for itself, and I've been able to help a lot of other people create the same thing. So when I take time to get to know people and I listen and I ask good questions and I find out why they need to make some more money and why it's important to them, I always come back to that in the end, right? So when I'm following up with them, if I've, ATM them into a group, or I've given them a video to watch once we've had a conversation and I know that they're looking, when I circle around back to it and follow up, I'm like, hey, I know that you really want to get that trip planned for your family. So are you ready to get started now? Can we get started now? Because we're moving, and I want you to move with us. I want to help you get out of this spot. And I mean it when I say it. I mean, when I partner with people, I partner with them. I show them how to do business. I answer their questions. They won't go getting lost in my inbox. Like, those people mean something to me because their lives mean something to me. Their goals mean something to me. I'm not going to give up on them, right? Okay. So don't rush. How many of you have tried to close a sale and you've rushed the sale because you have goals, because you are searching for the next rank advancement, because you're looking for a promotion and a bonus, and you tried to rush the sale and you lost it? You lost it because you forgot you were having a conversation with a human and you were out for yourself, and you peppered them with follow-ups and tried to get them to buy something. Oh, Teresa, thank you. Teresa, I really appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. So don't rush this, because people just want to be heard and valued. They don't want a script. They don't want somebody else's words through your messenger that doesn't sound like you. They want to hear your heart. And you don't need experience to share your heart. You tell people why you started. You introduce people that you've heard their stories that have inspired you. You put them in a 3-way message. You ask for help. You message your sponsor, right? If you've got good leadership and good mentorship, then you've got people that care about you and are there to help you build a business. But you don't need to force anybody to buy anything or force anybody to join something they don't even know what they're joining, right? The biggest mistake people make is say, oh, this is so simple. Everybody can do it. Anybody can do it, right? You give me a year of your life and I'll be able to help you build a business. But if you're going to try this thing for 6 weeks and quit on me, I can't help you, right? Hey, thanks, Chris. I got to talk to you a little bit. I want to learn about what you guys are doing up there in Alaska. I got to figure this out. I need to go visit. My mentor, Danelle, went and visited these guys up in Alaska, and they apparently have the best chai on the planet, which I'm a big chai fan. And I also have always dreamed of going dog sledding. Plus, the Northern Lights are on my bucket list. I really got to go visit. Right? Teresa, you're absolutely right. We only win when we help others. And you know what's really apparent? You'll see people make money. You'll see some people make a lot of money and then they'll drop because they're only in it for the money. They're not in it to help other people win. Right? They haven't figured out the duplication. They haven't figured out what is more important than money is the transformation. Like once you actually see somebody transform, you actually see them transform from this person that had no skill set, no education, no experience into this person that is leading the pack, has completely changed their family's life. Like my friend Michelle, I got to tell you about her because she's a great example, and I use her as an example a lot because she's a mom of two. She's Scottish. She's one of my friends. And I met her in a previous network marketing company. She was on my team, but I didn't enroll her. She was just a friend. And we started talking and I noticed her and I recognized her. By the way, this is a big tip. If you want to be recognized by your leaders and get special treatment, always say yes. Always raise your hand, even if you don't know how to do it. Okay. Always say yes. So raise your hand and say yes. And so she did one day. I said, hey, who wants to do a live video with me today? I needed to make some content and I wanted to find somebody to do a live video interview with. So she raised her hand. She was first. I was like, okay, Michelle, let's do it. And she's like, oh my God, right? Like deer in headlights. She's like, I didn't think you were going to pick me. I didn't think you actually meant it. I was like, yes, I'm going to help you. And so Michelle, we do a live video together and she's like, I don't know if this is for me. Michelle's a patent lawyer. Okay. She had like a $200,000 salary corporate job with BlackBerry. And so she's like, I don't really know if this is for me, but she got into some trouble building a home. She's like, all of these added costs, like we were in a lot of consumer debt. And we, even with my massive salary and my husband working, we still were in way too much debt. So that's why she got involved in network marketing, to make some extra money. Well, over the past 3 years, Michelle has grown a very successful business. She's also stepped up to the plate multiple times, you know, regardless of her being scared or having fear. She just said yes. And she's like, I'll figure it out later. So Michelle she's won a contest, a live video contest that she put herself in, and won $20,000 tickets, front row tickets to Grant Cardone's GrowthCom. Okay. She also put her audition in for a reality TV show. She was not only picked for that reality TV show, she flew to Florida and she won the reality TV show Play to Win. She then got a job with not the producer, but the company that put on the reality TV show, the Higdon Group. And then she got put on their speaking team. Now, that was a little crazy because of COVID, right? But she got to do all of those things because she said yes, because she stepped up to the plate, right? And so when those people are in your inbox, you know who to work with, you know who to talk to, right? If people aren't that excited, they're skeptical, they don't want to do it, then don't make them do it, please. Seriously, they're not for you. If they're constantly questioning you, they're constantly questioning your motives or how you make money or how they make money or whatever. I'm like, gosh, we don't even need to know that. We just need to have fun, and I need to show you how you're going to change your life. That's it, right? I'm going to show you how this is going to be a game changer for how you live and how you see life. Because when you go from employee to employer mindset, everything changes. There's a completely different perspective that you get to see, and you change the way you speak. Now, if you guys are finding this valuable at all, you can drop questions or comments. You can also share. You can tag a friend. I'm more than happy to answer questions for you. I'm just going to check out here on TikTok. Some of these people on TikTok, it's so weird. Really? I'm just going to stick with Facebook for a second. But if you do have questions, please feel free to ask, okay? I would just, love to be able to give you a little bit more insight into how to have conversations with specific types of people. Does that sound okay? Because I know that so many people don't know how to ask. They don't know how to talk to their friends or family, right? And the biggest mistake is that people come into this kind of business and people are like, write a hundreds list and then reach out to everybody. And everyone's like, what do I got to do? How do I do it? Right? I'm going to break this down and make it super, 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 super simple. Okay. I would simply write down the 5 people that would bring me chicken soup if I was sick. Who are the 5 people in your life that would bring you chicken soup if you were sick? And that's who I would start with. Okay. That would be the conversation that I would start with if I was brand new, or if I had new people on my team, and if I was teaching them how to reach out to people. So I would reach out to those people, and it could, sister, brother, parent, best friend, whatever it is, right? Okay. You're going to reach out to them and you're just going to say, hey, how's it going? How's your day? How's your weekend? You're going to have a normal conversation. Don't be weird. Okay? Don't be weird. And then, Lexi, I'm going to answer your question in just a second, but I want you to give me a little bit more clarity on your question, because you asked me, how do you find the courage to just push through at those roadblocks? Which roadblocks? Just give me an example of which roadblock, and I'm happy to answer. Okay. So if you're talking to a friend, you're having a normal conversation with them, family member, hey, look, I'm just going to level with you. I started a new business, an online business. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but what I do know is that these products are pretty rad, and I can give you a bit of a discount if you try them, compare them to what you're already using, and give me your feedback. Would you be willing to do that for me? I'd really appreciate it. It won't cost you any more than the product you already have, right? But if you could use this, it would really mean the world to me, and just give me your testimony, your feedback. That'd really help. Would you be open to doing that? What can I do for you, right? For the people that are really, really, really close. Okay. And then if it was a friend that you hadn't talked to in a while, I'd call them and I'd say, hey, I know we haven't chatted for a really long time. I want to talk to you about something, but, and there's a specific reason why I called, but first of all, I want to catch up. I want to hear all about you and your family. Can you tell me blah, blah, blah. Right. And then I have a normal conversation with them. Like just a regular conversation with somebody I haven't talked to in a really long time. Maybe that conversation is 15 minutes. Maybe that conversation is half an hour. And then I'm like, hey, look, remember how I said I was going to talk to you about this thing? So, hey, I saw that you were, homeschooling, and I don't know if you're looking to make some extra money, but I started this thing online, and you've always been somebody that is super, super savvy. And what I'm doing, like super, super savvy in business, what I'm doing might not be for you, but I really would value your opinion if you took a look and told me what you think. Would you be open to doing that for me? Like, it would really mean the world to me to hear what you think about this, right? And just get them to look at it. It's having a conversation. You don't need to close your best friend. You don't need to close somebody from high school that you haven't talked to in a year. You don't need to close them in that conversation. You don't need to close them ever. You just need to continue that conversation until there's a point in their life that they might want to buy a product from you, or they might want to make some extra money. Am I blowing anybody's mind right now? Because I'm very much simplifying. People are totally overcomplicating all of this instead of having a conversation with people, right? Okay. I'm just checking out the comments here. So how do I find the courage to push through roadblocks? I'd still love some clarity on that, Lexi, but usually when I have a roadblock, I find somebody that I admire, that I know has been there before, or has gone through it before, or I ask them if they know anybody who's been there and gone through that before. And I say, I need help. I ask for help. I ask for advice. I go to people that are more accomplished than me, that have more life experience than me, that have more education than me. And I say, hey, I need your help. How can I do what you did? How did you get over this? Did you ever experience this? Do you know anybody that did? Right? Teresa, you're absolutely right. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. I remember Pam Souter said that to me one of the first times I met her, because I told her I really overwhelm people. I've also learned how to communicate a lot differently than I first did, because I rammed products down people's throats. And I was like, if you don't join this business, you'd be stupid to have a 9 to 5. Like, oh my God, just so dumb. But I didn't know any better. And you're only as good as your mentor. You're only as good as the education that you have. And I often, it's so funny because even when I hit challenges, you're only as good as your weakest moment, right? So like, have you ever had somebody say something rude to you? Have you ever had somebody reach out and say something rude to you or comment something rude on your page? It's a scam, it's a pyramid, it's a scheme, it's a whatever, right? Like, and I used to take that really personally until I realized that that is such a projection of that other person. Like, that is their mentality. And so I'm only operating as myself, and I'm only operating with the best knowledge that I have, right? And so I say this clearly, I'm only operating at the best knowledge that I have at the time. I say this really clearly, and I want to tell you why. Because when you're operating that way, you're making the only decision possible for you, right? What if there was another choice? What if you were just unaware of that choice? What if that choice had never entered your mind? You never had that life experience. You never had that exposure, right? I wish that I had found the online marketing industry when I was 19, which wasn't big back then, right? But I wish that I would have found it when I was slugging through college and university. I wish that I would have known that I could start my own business and be my own boss and not, I'm allergic to bosses. I don't like having a boss at all. I like working from home. I like having my own hours and not having to be anywhere or do anything. I like getting up in the morning and having coffee in bed and listening to the birds chirp and watch the sun come up. Like, I really like that. I don't like the rushing around. And you get to create that. You get to create the life that you want, whether that is living in a penthouse on the beach, whether that is living in the country on acreage in the farm, whether that is living in a little cabin on a lake. You get to decide what your life looks like. You decide if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're living on that hamster wheel, you've made decisions to get you to that place, right? You decide. So all your job is to educate and have a conversation with people and talk to them and tell them that they have other options when they're looking for an opportunity because you've asked the right questions. Another really great book, I got to see where it is. Oh, goodness gracious. I think it's right here. Look. This is another really great book. It's a great book for a team, but it's also a really great book if you are learning how to talk to people. It's called QBQ, The Question Behind the Question. What to really ask yourself to eliminate blame, victim thinking, complaining, and procrastination. This book has really helped me with my prospecting. It's actually helped me on my team, and it's helped me talk to many, many, many other people. There's also, little script books like this that I keep around, social media script book. And if you want any of these things, like just let me know and I'll send you the link. But the reason that I keep this around, it's a super, super little book. I don't even use it anymore because I've memorized all this stuff now, but it has like all of the things that you could get an objection to. Price objection, doesn't like auto ship, doesn't want to look until they know the price, doesn't have time. When they say they're not interested, it's not for me, right? I don't like sales. I'm not a salesperson. How many times have you heard that, right? So it takes the guesswork out. Like all of these things take the guesswork out. And what most people are not doing is understanding just having a conversation. That's the foundation of our business, is having a conversation and continuing that conversation for as long as it takes. This year, I had someone reach out to me. I've been in this industry for 5 years. And she said, well, Christina, I got to get back into shape and I'm looking at some health products and you have been showing up every day for the last 5 years. And she's like, it's about time I buy something, right? And I kind of laughed and I said, well, yeah, I'm happy to help you. But like, that's intentional showing up with value. That's intentional talking about health and wellness. That's intentional talking about business. I love talking about business. I love helping people build businesses. I love seeing people find their success and see the little light bulb go on and be like, oh my God, I can do this. I'm going to crush this. I love that. I love seeing that and people come into their own, right? Which one, Teresa? Is it QBQ, the one that you're asking about? The question behind the question, or this is the social media script book. This is a pocket script book from Rank Makers. So like just a couple of things that I find really, really helpful for brand new people that don't have the confidence when people say, it's too expensive, or I don't want to order monthly, or I don't think it's for me. I'm not a salesperson. Like, hey, here's another one. How many times have you heard, I just got to ask my partner. I just got to ask my husband. And I'm like, perfect. Let's get your husband in a chat with us, and let me introduce him to a couple of other people that are building this business as couples. Let me show you a couple of other men that are super successful in this. Like, let him ask questions to them, and like, let's get this thing on the road. Like, let's get this show on the road, right? Do you guys have any other questions? Is there anything I can help you with personally? Right? Oh, I got to look on here. Sorry, all right, you guys. Does that make sense? I hope so. Confidence is absolutely key. And the other thing is having zero expectations attached to your ask, right? If you've never read Go for No, and you're in network marketing, direct sales, MLM, like, you absolutely have to read that book. But it gives you the perspective that I wish more people knew, that you can reach out to 100 people in a day. You can reach out to 100 people in a week. You can reach out to 100 people in a month, or you can reach out to 100 people in a year. And you determine the success that you have and the speed that you have it in. You decide, right? It's that simple. And if you're having conversations like this that are just ongoing conversations that are rolling down the line, that are not checking in with people every 6 weeks for the next sale or the next, the next online thing, it's giving them an update, but it's updating them on your life and on their life. I want to hear what they're going. Good morning from Barcelona. Nice to see you, right? You've got to start having conversations with people and talking to them like they're human beings and like you're a human being. Hey, I am everywhere today. Tanya, I am everywhere today. I'm all over the map today. I'm learning how to work smart is what I'm learning. And I'm learning how to be a beast when it comes to my schedule, like a total beast, which means that you only focus on the things that are important. And to me right now, this is how I can help you. All right. Candace exposed me. I don't even know what that means. People are crazy on TikTok. That's why I stick over here. All right. I will send you those things. Alyssa, Go for No and QBQ, both on Amazon, both of them. Okay. Now, how about this? What about people that are commenting on or commenting or posting on your page? What if people are engaging in your content, in your stories, all that kind of stuff? How would you talk to somebody like that? Well, often I'll go to their page and I'll engage with some of their stuff. I'll go look and see what they're posting. If there's somebody that I think I'd like to work with, if there's somebody that I think, wow, like I think I'd actually like this person or I'd like them in person, right? Like I'd like this person in person. Then I'm going to make sure that I connect with them somehow. And I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I hope you're having an awesome day. Hey, I was just checking out your page, like really great content. I thank you so much for showing some love on my post. Like, you have no idea how much I appreciate that. What brought you to my page? And then I let it hang. And then I have a conversation. What brought you to my page? Right? It's that simple. And then we start the conversation. Hey, I don't know, like, if you would be into this at all, and this might not be your thing, but would you like to know how you can make a little bit of extra money online? It might not be right for you right now, or it might not even be of interest to you, and that's totally fine. But if I could show you a way that you can make some extra money from your phone without interrupting anything that you're currently doing and without being a burden on your time, would you be open to looking? Would you be open to taking a look at what I do? Right? So easy. So easy. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions? Any other places that you're getting stuck, you're feeling challenged, you're not sure how to move forward? I also will connect with people on social media if I am following them and I'm engaging in their content and they keep popping up in my newsfeed, maybe I've written their name down so that I keep following up on them. And by following up, I mean like going to their page, engaging in their stories, engaging in their content, because I really like what they're putting out there. And after a few days, I'm going to get in there and have a conversation with them and say, hey, you keep coming up on my feed. I absolutely love what you put out there. You're super positive. You're funny. You're gorgeous. I would love to chat with you. I don't know, I don't know what you do for a living. I couldn't figure that out on social media. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. And you could start there, or you could even say, what I do might not be for you, but if you're at all open to taking a look, I think you'd be rad at it. If not, totally cool. Right? Different way of doing business. Deanne says, is it a good idea to have a checklist of conversations until you feel you're comfortable with conversations? Yeah, so here's the deal. I think that that's a great idea. I think that, I went through a 6-week training on recruiting and mastering it and how to talk to people and communication and all that kind of stuff and the psychology behind it. And I wrote down word for word some of the stuff that I was learning, like in the conversations, right? Scripts. But then I memorized what it was and I put them in my own language. So I know point form, the things that I'm going to say when people have objections, right? For somebody that has never even taken a look, if I send them a message, I'm like, hey, I don't know if you're open to checking this out or not. If you're like, no big deal if you're not. And they're like, no, thanks. I'm like, okay, cool. But hey, I just want to make sure that you have absolute clarity on what you're saying no to. Because I believe that knowledge is never a disadvantage. I believe that good people should meet good people and that most good business is referral business. Hey, Lynn, how's it going? So when you use the language because you've memorized it and it's become your own language, it's completely different. It's completely different. Oh, hi, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Right? So it's just different conversations that you're having. And as you become more comfortable, right? As you learn how to overcome objections by reading books and honing your skills, look, people go to you. I got to drink water. Hold on. It's a lot to talk for an hour, I just realized. But people go to university. They take an online course for 6 months. They go to school for 4 to 6 years to gather the skills, and then they get into an entry-level job where they're not making any money. All I'm saying is that you can learn how to make money while you learn, right? And so by learning this stuff, you should be honing your skill set. You should be reading books about sales, reading books about whatever your field is. If you're in insurance, you should know insurance inside out and backwards. If you're in mortgages, you should know mortgages inside out and backwards. You should know what's coming down the pipeline. You should be up on your stuff, right? You've got to be able to keep up. And the beauty of it is when you start learning, you never run out of content ideas because you're always teaching other people. You learn through teaching. That's what I love about teaching is that I learn while I teach other people, right? I love that one too. It might not be for you, but do you know someone, right? Like get into their network. That's how referral posts work. For those of you that don't know how to use referral posts, it's really cool. All you do is put up a little simple kind of, I'll give you an example. Okay. Hey, are any of my friends out there that need a little bit more energy? Because my friend Christina has something that you're going to want to try, right? Then we see who comments. And then I have a friend that posts that for me. We see who comments and then I come in and answer. And I come in as third-party validation on their post. I answer people and then I help them as a customer representative, right? Or I come in as a company representative and help a customer. That's more like it. So it's how you present yourself. And if somebody, I'll often say that if this isn't for you, hey, no worries at all. I've actually made some really big phone calls and had really great conversations with people. And I'm like, hey, this probably isn't for you at all, but you might know somebody and this is what I do. And this is how I help people. And you might know the right type of person for this that I could really help do. And they might be looking for something like this, right? You just never know. You never know. Cool? Okay. The other thing that I really like doing, by the way, is collaborating, right? Because sometimes people don't know what you have and you have to figure out what it is that they need. So often we're scared to talk to people. And I say we, I get sweaty when I talk to people that have more influence than me, right? I get nervous. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. But I reach out to them because I know that what I have, they need. They may be doing posting. They may have 100,000 followers. They may have some affiliate marketing, but what they don't have is residual income. And often they don't understand how that works. And if I can give them a piece, like a lift the curtain and show them behind the scenes, like a little piece of what I do and how I help people and how they could be working smart and making more money, then they're open to listening. But if I just get into their inbox with a script that says, hey, I like your stuff. Do you want to get into business with me? Right? Nobody's going to go for it. Nobody's going to want to do that. Nobody. So I hope that that was helpful to you today. I hope that that answered some of your questions. I hope it gave you some insight in having conversations and ditching the scripts. Or if you're given scripts and that's what you feel comfortable with, use them as a template. Don't use them as a conversation skill for you because it's somebody else's words that you're giving, and that's why it's not working for you, right? Use your words. Help somebody in a way that is bigger than a sale. And you'll have a business for a very long time because you'll be building relationships based on trust instead of based on what you can give to them and what they can give to you. Hope that helps. If you have any questions, as always, reach out. If you want more information like this, please become a part of Life Transformed, my free Facebook group. I'm more than happy to help and answer questions. I want to help as many people live this lifestyle as I can because I know what it's done for our family. I know what it's done for our daughter. I know what it's done for my marriage. I know what it's done for our future and the legacy that we're creating. And it's not taken that long. It took us a year to turn things around. And now it's been 5 years down this path and there's no going back. So happy Wednesday, my friends. Have an amazing evening. I will be back again next Wednesday to do something very, very similar. I'm going to keep coming to you on Wednesday nights to serve you, to answer questions, to be able to connect with you. And I hope that I will see you again next week. Bye for now.